Novel Tea with S&B is a show about two sisters-in-law who share their love of books and tea.
Sometimes they read together, sometimes not. Sometimes horror, but mostly smut.
They review and recommend the books they've read and chat about other fun topics too.
Don't worry, they won't spoil anything, and if they do, they'll warn you.
Also be warned, this show is not for kids or for anyone who might be offended by horror or sex talk, or both.
Looking at you, Mom.
Hello, and welcome back to Novel Tea with S&B, the book club that has a podcast. I'm your co-host, Beck.
And I'm Stephanie.
So this is our Thirsty Tomes and Tea episode. So can you tell us what tea you're drinking today?
Of course. This one's going to be English Tea Shop. And I'm drinking, it's called Spooky Spice.
Ooh.
And yeah, it's super yummy. It's
Is it spooky?
Yes. No. It's good. It's green tea with cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, cloves, nutmeg, and there's pepper in like all these teas. I don't taste it. So, but there's pepper in it and it's super yummy. I really like it. It's very it's like a good winter tea. Like I'm, in June, not so much. But it's really good
but
right
it's still
now.
February, so at least there's that.
Yeah, it's actually chilly here. So
yeah. Oh my god. Your dad is here and it's like 50 degrees here, which if you're my South Dakota friends, just plug your ears for a second. But he's like, I am freezing. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh yeah. That happens. It happens.
No,
I
know.
So used to this.
We get tempered.
Yeah, and here like it has been chilly lately. For like Arizona, it's been in like the 50s and 40s, even 30s in the morning. Which is like
time.
It's so gross. I mean, I can't, but I need to not complain because I've seen what other people are going through, and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't complain about 50 degrees. But
I think it's beautiful, but I'm, I get rosy when it's like 60 degrees. So
yeah. Well, like when was it? I was going somewhere in the morning, and there was frost on my windshield. I was like, oh no. What is that?
I have a scraper.
I know. What is this? Do I have to get out an old like credit card or something? Do it like I don't know. It melted quick. Whatever.
Yeah,
I was upset. I like looked at it and I'm like, no.
Like you live in Arizona for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Even though the summers are freaking
terrible.
Horrible. Yeah. Ooh, so Bad KU. I'm super excited for this month. So excited.
I want to hear about Crow.
Oh, so where do I start?
I don't know.
It was very funny. And of course, and once the spice starts, like it does not stop.
It's one of those.
It is porn with porn. No. There's
no
a plot, I guess, but yeah. She does in fact get the eggs inside of her, and Wait.
Are they okay? I have questions about this. Okay. Are they hard shelled eggs?
Yeah.
Oh,
they're in his ball sack.
Okay. You're gonna spoil it, but how does this work?
Okay. Yeah. Spoiler.
Yeah, I'm gonna spoil
for all those who don't want to hear. Yeah. So when he comes, it's normal, but the ultimate release is when the eggs come out. So he can like do a halfway orgasm, right? Where he'll do the regular like a human, and then that's it. So the first time he hooks up with her, he doesn't want to like put the eggs in her. He's like, I'm not going to do that. That's too much.
That's too weird.
That's weird, right? And so she finds out that he has eggs and that's his ultimate release, and she's like, I want them in me. So he can only shapeshift at night. So he's a regular crow. And then in the evening he shapeshifts, but he still has the crow head. He still has like feathers for pubes. Like he can't completely shapeshift. And it's this like curse that was put on him. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway.
It does sound like a curse.
Yeah, it is. But she don't mind it. But so the next time he comes over, she puts, oh my God. So she like gets on the bed and like gets naked and bends over and like spreads her cheeks and she bedazzles her asshole.
Her cloaca.
Yeah, she puts like a ruby plug thing, so it's a ruby, and he talks about the ruby forever, and then he like pulls it out, and then he goes and he releases the eggs in her ass. Ew.
What?
Yeah, and she's like, oh yeah, like your eggs.
Was there a reason for it not to be in like the normal spot? It had to be the ass?
I think that's just how it happened the first time.
Okay.
But then he like after that, and then they do it again, he puts them in proper, you know.
Oh, okay.
Where they belong, I guess. Where the eggs belong. I don't know. It's so stupid.
What?
It's so bad, but I was like, I mean, I laughed throughout it.
Yeah, dude.
And I was amazed at the things like this author came up with. Like, it talks about his bird tongue and what he can, and how he like, it's long and skinny, and how he can like wrap it around her nipple and wrap it around all her, you know, who's it's and what's
But he still has like a beak, right?
Yeah, she like licks and makes out with his beak.
With his, oh my god.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's funny. God. Clearly it wasn't meant to be a literary masterpiece. Like,
yeah, obviously.
But it's funny because even at the end, the author wrote like something about like go to Goodreads and leave a review, something about spitting out her coffee. Like, she knows what she did. Like,
yeah,
she knows, and it's all in fun, I guess. But oh my god, it was so bad. But I was like reading some of the reviews, and I'm like, geez. So yeah, that was
there any 5 stars?
Huh?
Was there any 5-star reviews?
Yeah, actually,
oh my god,
there was 5-star reviews. I'm like, y'all need to
like
touch grass. Is now that's called like get out of your house. Yeah, for sure. So how was your read? I want to hear about Jack Frost.
Okay, so it was exactly what you expect, but also like not at all. And what I mean by that, I started reading it and I had to check a few times to make sure that I had gotten the right book, because like it starts off in like a bar with this dude named Jack. I'm like, okay, so where's the monster? And then I got a few like chapters and I'm like, oh yeah, this is why I'm here. Yep.
There it is.
Got it. Found it.
Yeah.
So Frost is like a demon, I guess, of this hell where all things that like die related to a snow death go. So hikers that get caught in the snow, animals, flowers that like they bloom too early and then the frost took them.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, cool idea. Mm-hmm. Now, this dude Frost, is like a legitimate monster. Like, he is huge. He's got like these spiky like armor built into his like body. He's like glittery white, and then he has like these weird like jagged teeth, and he has like a serpentine face. And like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to fuck Voldemort. But she did.
Of course she did.
Yeah.
Of course.
And hey, again, spoilers right now. So if anybody actually wants to read this, just skip ahead. But it's a love triangle between Jack and Frost.
What?
Yeah. So, okay. She murders. Okay, so this dude Jack is like a mountain like explorer. He like saves people off of the mountain or whatever. They end up like fucking in the beginning of the book. Cool, whatever. That's why I was confused.
Right.
But then they go into this cave where like something beyond the wall is like calling to them. And then so she falls into this pool. That's where she meets Frost, the demon.
Okay.
And then somehow she gets pulled back out, and then she pushes Jack into the pool to murder him.
What? What?
So Frost can have like a corporeal body to like go from his realm to like the human realm and back and forth.
Oh my god.
And like the dude lives. Jack. Okay. He's like, hey, I survived this, but I still want to fuck you. And so does Frost. So like, we're gonna share. Ooh. Like, I don't know about you.
Oh my god.
Murdered.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No. What the hell?
So then, like, when they decide to go back to the human realm, he has to use Jack's body. And then he's like, oh, my name's going to be Jack Frost.
Oh, no. That's what it is?
Yeah.
Oof. See, you know what's funny about books like this? So you read, like, the
synopsis.
All snow-related death things. They go to this hell, and you're talking about animals and hikers and flowers that bloom too early. Mm-hmm. It's like these authors have like these dope ass ideas and they don't know where to go with it, so they just write this kind of stuff. Yeah. I mean, which is cool. But like that's a really neat like concept though. I like that.
I know,
the whole
right?
Hell, the whole like frozen hell where things get that was a neat idea.
That is a really cool idea. And then nope.
But then they went to
It's books like these that make me feel like I could be an author.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And like it was like what, 80 pages? Like it wouldn't be that hard.
No, I don't maybe we should try it.
We should try it.
Yeah, like
next Thursday.
Just write maybe we can each like do a very short story.
Yeah.
Them. Oh my god, that would be actually really funny.
That would be so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
I know, I'm so excited for this part.
Valentine's Day is coming, you know.
Yes. So, well, okay, so this is going to release the day after Valentine's Day, but we're still in the Valentine's Day spirit. Okay?
Yes, we are. We are. And
I'm so
in
excited.
The spirit of Valentine's. Okay, I have my bad KU for you. It is, or KU cringe, I should say. It is 16 pages.
Oh, okay, so it's not the same one. Okay.
Okay, and then there's a book 1 and book 2. Book 2 is 20 pages if you do happen.
Oh, okay. So like 46 total.
It's called My Tentacle Romance.
Oh. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Jennifer is heartbroken when she ends up single on Valentine's Day. Little does she know her evening is about to heat up when she stumbles upon the cave where her true Valentine dwells. Did you see the picture?
Is it the one with a pregnant belly, or is it the...
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Seduced by a slippery, wet tentacle monster, Jen strips down to her lacy red lingerie. She is eager for the creature to fill her body with its warm, wet tentacles. It's not hearts, teddy bears, or chocolates that Jen will be getting on this Valentine's Day. It's something slimy and slippery wet.
Oh my god, I have to Goodreads. Want to read.
And then part 2 is called A Tantalizing Time with a Tentacle Monster. If you want to read both, it's by Amber Fox.
I mean, I might as well.
Go ahead and put what to read on you.
I'm working on it. Oh my god. And I thought the one that I gave you was bad. That's kind of like... that's like what I plan on, is just being like worse than the one you give me. But...
I might have you beat this time. I don't know. I did really good with Squeak. Oh, and then the second one, she's laying down, touching her pregnant belly. So,
is she pregnant in both?
You're gonna have to tell me next Thursday.
I guess so. Oh my god. Okay, so yours.
Yay!
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Okay,
it is 52 pages.
Oh,
it is by the author that gave us the beloved Squeak, by the way.
Oh no.
Yep.
No. Oh god.
It is Ruby and the V-Day Vampires. Van-pires. Not vampire, van.
Oh,
from the critically acclaimed authors Back for Second, A Reverse Harem Feast, and Regifted, Gangled by a Ghost of Christmas, comes a brand new reverse harem tale of holiday hedonism. And this time, love and lust are on the line. They're magical monster hunting vampires living in a van. She's fed up middle-aged divorcee attempting to geocache her Valentine's Day into oblivion. Perfect. Now the question is, can Quentin, Fletcher, and Marcus convince Ruby that the best way to resurrect her love life is with a few guys that are also back from the dead?
Oh no.
I need to read you the warning.
Okay.
Ruby and the V-Day Vampires is a stimulating short story about the importance of cleaning up public parks, practicing safe archery, and that age and getting absolutely railed in the back of the van by 3 vampires.
Oh my god.
Okay, so it involves explicit group activity, unprotected interactions with said undead suitors, and their nocturnal emissions, slight kidnapping, the old fangy kiss to access liquid vampire chow, being impaled in the fun way, being impaled in the not fun way, sex, pollen, poison, as well as brief mentions of homeowners associations and geocaching.
Oh my god. I'm excited.
I'm so excited for you.
Oh my god.
It is my very Valentine. It's the picture is just a van.
The van, Ruby and the V-Day Vampires.
Yep.
Oh my god. And 2 people wrote this. 2 brains.
Oh yes, but you know, Vera Valentine is the one that's important because she's the mind behind Squeak. And Squeal.
It's just
I'm actually surprised she hasn't come up more. Because she reads some pretty unhinged books. She wrote Unhinged, by the way, which is about a door.
Oh, I've heard about that one.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was her too?
That's her too.
I like kind of want to be her friend.
I know, just kind of.
Just a little.
I just want to know.
Can we just hang out once? Just so I can...
Yeah, let's get drunk. And let me just ask you some questions. I have a lot of questions.
Oh my god, so we're not reading. So this whole time we were excited to share these books with each other, and like I've said before, we don't tell each other until we're recording. So it's like always super fun. And we were wondering if we gave each other the same book. It's bound to happen one of these days.
I'm sure it will.
Did not happen. It did not happen this time. But
we're on the lookout for when it will actually happen.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, so
yeah, tell me about this question we're doing. Question and answer we're doing.
So I thought it would be fun to go over some of there's a new TikTok filter out that's like get to know the book talker. My face is currently messed up, so I didn't want to do it on actual TikTok. There's time for it later. We can go we can have a little fun, do it. But we can go more in depth here, I feel like, than what we could probably do over TikTok. So we'll still probably do it on TikTok. Just, for right now, we're going to go in depth of. So when do you do most of your reading?
Okay, so for me, it's almost exclusively before bed. So it does, reading helps me wind down a lot, and that may be hard to believe with some of the things I read, but I do find it relaxing regardless of the content. I don't know, even if I'm reading a splatterpunk or whatever, reading still relaxes me. And I used to be one of those people who were on my phone, and I know that's not the best. And so I actually am glad that I found something else that I found reading to do before I go to bed. I'm starting to read physical copies that I have though. When I go pick up my son from school, the line is horrendous. So I leave pretty early and usually just listen to music. But I'm like, oh, I can bring a book and read that in my car. So I'll bring sometimes in my car and sometimes just sitting around the house. But 90% of the time, I like to read when I'm getting ready for bed. I usually go to bed early, lay down an hour or two early because I know I'm going to be reading for a while. But yeah, that's what I typically do. So what about you?
Yeah, I try to do it before bed too. The same reason. I used to be one of those people that would be on TikTok until exactly when I needed to sleep, and then I just could not sleep. So and the Kindle really does help with that, by the way, because it has that blue light filter on it. And then also I'm not disturbing my husband if he's trying to sleep.
Yes.
Which I find hard with physical copies, like you said. Which is on the weekends I'll have to read I call them day books, because if it's a physical copy, I can't really that book that you gave me for Christmas?
Yeah.
I don't see myself being able to read that in bed.
No, there's a lot going on with that book.
There's a lot. There's inserts
things in it.
And,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm the same way. I had a reading light. It didn't last, and I even replaced the battery, and it just didn't work anymore the first time it died. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that even if Adam rolls over and then it would get kind of annoying getting it on there perfectly, and I don't know, it's just the Kindle is
and then you have to move it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So Yeah, I agree with you on that. So if I could only recommend one book ever again, for me, so this is hard because when people ask me for recommendations, I'm always like, well, what genre? Like, I don't know if like even on those like Facebook pages and stuff, people are like, oh, I what should my next read be? And I'm like, well, what genre do you like?
Read?
Because
what
that
was your
matters.
last read?
Yeah. So I would hate to recommend something that like really isn't their style. But I do find myself wanting to talk about The Hollow Places, The Troop, and the Crowns of Nyaxia series a lot. So it would probably be one of those for me. So what about you?
Yeah, I say The Hollow Places too. I think it just is one of those books that it's just so unique, and it's so like, I forget how, like, I don't know how to explain it exactly, but the way that she does horror is my favorite way of horror, basically.
Yeah.
I used to recommend House of Leaves a lot, but I realized that it has a really higher entry level, like barrier to entry than like The Hollow Places would. And they give kind of the same vibe as far as like this weird house. So Hollow Places, but if you have like the challenge within you, House of Leaves. House of Leaves is by far my favorite book of all time. It's just so unique.
Yeah, for sure. I have like I have it.
Yeah.
It's so intimidating. Like I'm intimidated by that book. Like I'll look at it and I'm like,
Yeah, and
I've been wanting to read it forever, and it just sits there because I'm like scared of it.
I think I've mentioned this before. It took me like 5 tries to actually get all the way through it. Like I was stop. It wasn't until it was the only book that I had on a trip that it actually
like a road trip or something.
Yeah, we went from New Hampshire all the way down to like Washington, D.C. So like,
oh shit,
the entire time I was just reading this book. So I was forced to.
Yeah, right. What else are you gonna do?
Once I got into it, like, dude, like you just have to get past like the first like quarter of the book, basically. But that's a lot of book to get through.
Yeah. I will one of these days. It's just not today. But yeah. But yeah, The Hollow Places has a little bit of everything too. I mean, it really does. And it's spooky and cozy at the same time. Which is why I think me and you both like it. I like a lot of horror, and you like cozy horror and stuff like that. And it's a good blend of those because there is things in it that are like freaking creepy, right? But like, I don't know. It's and here we go again on T. Kingfisher. I think she's gonna come up a lot in this, but she's just really good.
Yeah, I think writing. She's gonna come up with like genres and author and favorite book. So much. So
for sure. Yeah. So yeah, she's great.
Yeah. What was your last 5-star read?
So I find myself realizing there are a lot of 4-star reads that I maybe should have given 5 stars. I've talked about this before. I'm gonna say The Serpent and the Wings of Night. That whole series, really, and it's not something I would typically like. Not that it changed me in a sense that it made me realize, like, because it's such a large. I mean, it's a lot of it's a lot of. Oh my god, I can't think. It's 3 books. 2 of them are pretty big, and for like being new to fantasy, that's a lot to take in. Like, it's easy. It's an easy read. It's not like it's difficult or hard or confusing, but it introduced me to like big fantasy, and I think it's just special to me because of that. Because after I read that, I was hooked on fantasy, and so it's special for me. So I'm gonna say that's my last 5-star read. Is Serpent and the Wings of Night, but the whole series, really.
The whole series,
yeah. So what about you?
So this is going to be a spoiler for our next episode, but I just recently finished This Thing Between Us by Gus Marino, based on your recommendation.
I love that book so much.
It is on Kindle Unlimited. It was so good. So good.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I mean, I want to get into detail, but you'll have to listen to our Wrapped episode for our February Wrapped to get into it.
I can't wait to talk about it because I really like that book. It's different and just so good, so good.
I'll get into like what specifically like the vibe of it when we get into genre, but Yeah, it was really good. Would recommend.
I'm so glad you liked it because I love it. So the next question was, what's your favorite character? So my favorite character is Uriah. One of my favorite characters, I should say, is Uriah because, again, Serpent and the Wings of Night and the whole Crowns of Nyaxia series. I liked her because she was written well. So a lot of times these like heroines or whatever are written and there's a lot of eye rolls. There's a lot of, oh my God, you know, I get annoyed, but with her, I didn't. I just loved everything about her. So, she was a really, for the character she was, and for her to not get on my nerves, which sounds terrible, but I do get annoyed easily by some of these characters, but she was written wonderfully, and I don't have that with her. So she's a fave. Also, Sam from A House with Good Bones, because, and that's T. Kingfisher. She was very relatable. I don't know, something about her, like, it's like I knew her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm reading it and I'm like, oh, this, like, I know her. This is my friend. It was weird to she was just a very relatable girl going through some shit. So, really good character. That's another one of my favorites by T. Kingfisher. Right up there with The Hollow Places for me. And of course, who doesn't love Krampus? And if you don't,
you should.
You need to read Krampus by Bram, and you will have a place in your heart for him always, because I have such a soft spot for Krampus now because that book was so good. And Beck actually bought me that for Christmas the year before last, and I love it so much. And I love Krampus.
It's a good Christmas book.
Yeah, it's good, and he's I love him. Like, I love him, and he's like supposed to be the bad guy, but read it.
Yeah, he's like one of those like really sympathetic. Yeah,
and there's really good art in it too. So buy the physical copy. Yeah. I'd recommend to get the physical copy because the art in that book is also just really cool. So yeah. What about you? What about your favorite character?
So, like you were saying with Sam from A House with Good Bones, I felt the most attached to Eleanor Vance from Haunting of Hill House. Just the way that her like internal monologue was. She was just very like anxious, daydreamy, contemplative. So like when I was reading that, and this has been, I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago, so it may have changed by now, but when I was reading it, I got really attached to her because I felt like, oh shit, this is the way I think.
Right.
This is exactly how I would have worked this entire like. So it's like about a haunted house, and the house ends up like claiming her almost. So like, right, it's exactly how I would have reacted in the entire like the book. And it is set in the 1950s, which is also weird because like who would have thought I would have connected with like a 1950s character.
Right. That's cool though. I remember you telling me it's nothing like the show either.
No.
Like that miniseries, it's very different.
It's completely different. They're not a family. So I guess synopsis really quick while you're interested. Read it.
Yeah.
No. Is that Eleanor has been taking care of her mom for like the last 10 years because her mom has been very sick. Her mom dies. And like she's relieved by it because she no longer has to take care of her. And by the way, I don't sympathize with that part, by the way.
No.
But and then so like she gets this letter from the psychologist that wants to like study people with like sleep disturbances. So her and 2 other candidates go to this house, and then they're like, oh, by the way, oops, it's actually because it's a haunted house, and I wanted to investigate it and see how it affected different people.
Man, I need to read it because it sounds
you
like something
should.
like. Yeah.
I really liked it, and I didn't find because it's an older book. I didn't find it as hard to read as like say Rebecca or Far from the Maddening Crowd.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Far from the Maddening Crowd was difficult to read. Audiobook would recommend with that one. However, with Haunting of Hill House, I got through it in like 2 days with just reading it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
This was over the pandemic, though. So, like, I had free time.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
I will also say that I have gotten back into Harry Potter recently. And, like, if you know me, Harry Potter's like my jam. So I do really like how the characteristics of Harry, Luna, and Dumbledore. I think they're really good characters, and they have a lot of good development, basically.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So what was a book you really did not like?
The Bonds That Tie series, just as a whole, specifically the book Forced Bonds. So if you've been listening, I'm so angry. So if you've been listening, I have ranted about this in the past. Something happens in Forced Bonds that can't be unhappened. Like, I don't care how that story ended, what else happens after that. It can never be redeemed. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
I'm never going to be happy again.
No, and I won't. I literally, the thing happened and I was pissed. I was like, I invested so much time in this stupid series, and then the one thing I didn't want to happen happened. Anyways, that's a whole, I can go on and on, so I'm going to stop now. But
when we stopped that episode, we talked for another like 30-40 minutes over it. It was so funny.
Because I had to tell you what happened.
I know,
but I'm not going to give it away because a lot of
spoiler.
people do like it and this and that, but yeah. Anyways, I didn't. I'm also going to mention, or I'd like to mention, Kid, because, dude, everyone loves this freaking book, and I don't get it. I didn't read Hawk, and so they're both standalones, but they like kind of go together. So Hawk is like before Kid, and Kid's in Hawk. His name's like it's like Kai something, right? So his name Kid is an acronym for his name. But anyways, he's in Hawk. But and I didn't read Hawk, but I'm not going to because everyone says, "Oh, Kid is so good." And I mean, there's people I follow on BookTok like that I like that have a lot of good recommendations, and then they're like, "Oh, Kid, it's the best book ever," and I'm like, I didn't like it. So, yeah, I'll mention that one. What about you?
I honestly feel like October, our October episode, it was just cursed for me.
We were so excited for that
one. So for one, I did not finish Hex, which was like all over Book Talk. Hated it. I couldn't even get past like the first like great idea, poor execution.
Right.
Oh my god. And then Jinxed, I was really mad about.
Yeah. I remember.
And then Awkward in October. Oh my god.
I remember talking about that one.
That's gonna go down in like S&B history as like
the shittiest.
Yeah.
The shittiest book.
Oh my god. I was so mad. But I finished it. I don't know why I finished it, but I did. We were talking
about the aesthetics, and you were telling me, and you made that one as like a joke. I'm like, no, put the music. What's that show? Oh my god, that music from whatever the fuck show it is. Burn, 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 burn. And then you made it and posted it, and every time, like sometimes I just go through our TikTok posts because they're so fun, and whenever that one comes up, I'm fucking dying because the music and everything is just so perfect about it.
I feel like some of our TikTok videos, which is the next topic.
Yeah.
I feel like some of our TikTok videos. Sorry, hold on.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of them I try to make funny in like our humor, but I don't think it comes across at all.
Because we're random. That's like when I did that one. I was so proud of it, and like nobody liked it. It was the Almond Joy one.
Oh yeah.
And it says when it says sometimes I feel like a nut, it's like a fucking like spicy smut book, and then sometimes you don't. It's like a serious book. And I remember making that, and it's like Almond Joys have nuts, mounds don't. And I was laughing hysterically, like I am a fucking riot. Everyone's gonna love it. It's like 5 likes. I'm like,
it's so crazy. What does well and what doesn't?
Freaking Slob still gets views. I'm like,
I know.
Like almost 7,000 views, and I'm like,
that was a throwaway video.
I know. I posted it at not a good time, and I remember saying, I posted this like
but it doesn't
just
matter.
Get
some content out. We just wanted to, yeah. Oh my god.
But now I do want to read another Splatterpunk book, so I can like do that again.
Yeah. Well, and you're the only one that, on this channel that's going to.
Yeah. So I'll have to do another one. But yeah, whenever the Awkward in October one, oh my god, I freaking die every time.
Oh, what's your favorite videos to make?
I do love the making the little aesthetic ones.
Yeah,
like I love it because when I'm reading, I like think about it. Like, ooh, I should find a picture for that, and then like, oh, you know what song's gonna go good with this? Blah. But now that like
UMG.
A lot of the songs were taken out, yeah. But I mean, for the most, there's still a lot of good music on there, and it's kind of good for for artists who are like trying to get their name out there. Now they're not being taken over.
That's true.
So there's that. But
Hosier's still on there, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
I'm good.
And I really like making those a lot, especially when you find like the perfect picture. You're like, oh, that's perfect. So and then I do like these choose one
you
videos.
Do really good.
I like those, like choose a reading nook, or your birthday is your reading room, or whatever.
Your dad was upset, by the way.
Why?
He's like, there wasn't a beach library, so I couldn't choose.
I don't think about.
I'm
the
like
beach. I'm not a beach person. That's weird that my dad is.
You want to put sand in books?
Yeah.
Like, I understand. Like, beach readings. I mean, I'm not a beach person either. Growing up in South Dakota, we did have like lake beaches, but it's not the same. But
yeah, I think the beach is beautiful. It's just not. I don't know. It's just not my
It's not where I would assume to go and read.
No, because Dad, he said something to me about that. And he's like, "Oh, there's no beach." He's like, "There's never a beach on any of these," and I'm like, "Oh, you know what?" I think there was one that had a beach, but yeah. So I guess I'll add that for
just for
people.
him.
But he doesn't like strike me as a beach person. It's so weird. Like, not at all, but whatever. And then we did our first unboxing recently.
That was so much fun.
I mean, I would love to get boxes and boxes and boxes.
Dude.
Of course. And opening them is a blast. And like DB Lead had all these little fun like trinkets in there, pictures, art. There was bookmarks, there was stickers, there was a little like skeleton. There was just so much fun things in there, and I had a blast opening that. I really had a good time doing that video too. So I mean, yeah, I'd really like to do those as well. I just like making content for TikTok. I just think it's so much fun. So what about you?
Yeah, same thing. That unboxing video was so much fun. Like, look, even watching it back was fun because I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. And oh yeah, we both struggled with the book.
Yeah. I didn't want to break the seal.
I didn't either.
It was so pretty.
And then I saw a video later that somebody just like took off the tape. I'm like, oh, this whole time.
Oh, yeah, right. Of course, me, you can't figure it out.
Exactly.
Just slide it off there, girls.
Oh my god. The aesthetic videos are fun too. I just find myself like, if everybody knows at this point that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so like I have to get it perfect, and then I have to get like the perfect photo and the perfect like. It's just so much for me to like actually create one that I just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm good. They're fun though. Yeah.
I like doing them a lot.
I think you and I are gonna try to do more what we call face videos.
Yeah.
But like my face has to like not be what it looks like right now.
Oh yeah. Tell everyone what happened.
Oh my god. So I work for a dermatologist, and every once in a while we get new machines like for cosmetic procedures. I think this might be actually like insurance covered too, because okay, so I'm getting off topic, but it's a treatment for all sorts of things. It's called IPL. It's intense pulse light laser. So for me, it was for my rosacea. For other people, it's like for sunspots, fine lines, some forms of like you want to get your sunspots taken care of because otherwise it could potentially lead to cancer at some point. With that being said, it fucking sucked. So it's two different machines. I've gotten IPL done before. The machine that we have where I am located, because we have different locations, is a very gentle machine. It's not a clinical machine. So I was like, you know what? I'm fine. Cool. Yeah. If you really need somebody to model this machine for you so you can learn, rad, cool, whatever. I already done it. Like,
yeah, and because who you work for, like they like you to go out and do this stuff, and they cover
so
it and everything. Yeah, it's not like you're going out and
no, and
finding it.
I'm not a cosmetic person by any means.
No.
Like, I get Botox for like my migraines. And I've stopped that because that's a whole nother topic. But so it is this hot rubber band feeling. The first pass was fine. Like, I was like, okay, cool, I can do this. Second pass, it felt like my face was on fire. Third pass, because apparently I have veins from my rosacea. Rosacea is like, it's an autoimmune disorder, so I'm just full of autoimmune disorders. Anyway, so the first pass was for the deep redness that I have in my face. So that's below the surface level, skin level, to get really deep in there to get rid of it, whatever. Second pass was the surface redness. Third pass was to get rid of the veins, my sunspots, and something else. I can't remember. So by the third pass, I sent you a photo. I was red. I was like a tomato.
Yeah, it looked like it hurt.
It was not fun. I was icing I took Benadryl and iced my face like right away.
Yeah.
The next day.
It's not funny.
It's not, but it is. I was laughing the entire time because I'm like, of course, a fucking course. If somebody's going to have a reaction to this, it's going to be me. Because, okay, the lady did tell me, she's like, you're going to swell. I'm like, okay, I have a round face. Like, I'm pretty, like, I have a chubby face. Like, it's fine. Like, it's just going to be a little rounder, whatever. I should have taken that seriously. I didn't take it as seriously as I should have. Because my face was huge.
Yeah.
And my eyes.
It was so swollen. I felt so bad.
And like,
I'm like, oh my God.
My dead eyes in that face, or in that picture.
But it's going down.
It is going down now. Like, it's the fourth day. I still, like, I still look uncanny. Like, it's gone down.
Uncanny Valley.
Yeah, but I still look a little off from what I should look like. And, hey, guess what? The veins on my cheeks are gone. My sunspots are falling off. Like, they go gray and then they fall off. So, it works. Yes.
They fall off?
Yeah, they fall off. They go gray and then they, like, slough off. Because it's like it's kind of like a microdermabrasion. Like,
oh, yeah. My mom had a dermabrasion, not a micro. She had, like, the serious one.
Oh
my God. She had her whole face whacked off. But, so I have, dude, she was so, I was already in the service when she had that done, but, I got pictures and I was like, oh my God, I cried when I saw him because it didn't even look like her, but
yeah,
I have sunspots. That's so weird that I have like 1, 2, I think I have 3.
Yeah.
That's weird. Oh my God.
So you could, if you wanted to, get Dialite. It's a lot less, intense than IPL and it's just one zap. Zip, zip.
I don't know.
But yeah,
it's not that serious.
Well,
now I'm scared to do anything. Because after seeing my mom and you, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Well, and like I should say that I am very sensitive body. Basically, like my skin and my like everything is very sensitive. So even if I eat,
very sensitive.
I know.
You're so sensitive, and you can make yourself cry. Can't. So I don't know. All the way around. Okay, we'll get back on topic. But,
yeah.
So everybody knows her poor face. Is swollen. I don't like to do face videos. I'm like super self-conscious with how I look, so it's gonna take a lot. I'll do it eventually. It's gonna take a lot for me to like. Yeah, but I don't want to do that either.
I do the
be real.
The forehead.
I'm gonna do one of them, but
yeah.
I'm gonna do one of the filters, but I'm not going to do like bold glamour because doesn't even look like me.
Just look like a Chad.
I'll get there eventually. But anyway, so what's a genre that you rarely read?
So many, dude. Like so many. Like memoirs, mysteries, science fiction, young adult, comedy, history, and westerns. However, I did recently talk to my dad and he's like, you should read this dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I'll read one book for you, Daddy. But it's not. It never.
But didn't you want to read a Western romance because of cowboy games? I don't remember what it is.
You
Red
know-
Dead Redemption.
Yes, because Arthur Morgan has my heart and soul, and
Giggled.
I did. I get over
For video
pixels.
game
Yeah.
That's great.
But he's
yeah.
the.
So are you going to still read one?
Yeah, I probably will.
You will?
Yeah.
You have to find like a...
I have to find one that's on Kindle Unlimited and one that doesn't seem like too
over the top cheesy.
Yeah, well, and like I like historical cowboys. I don't like rodeo cowboys. Yeah.
Right. Okay, fair enough.
And you?
So for me, I don't read like nonfiction.
Yeah, okay, yeah, me neither, by the way.
And it's not for me, like I don't know, it doesn't I don't know. It just doesn't interest me. If something ever did, sure. Although sometimes I'm starting to think that 1984 and Brave New World maybe.
Yeah, a little bit.
Nonfiction. Yeah. But anyways, I put Westerns as well. I'm not into cowboys. I'm not into country music. I'm not into any of that. It will not appeal to me.
No.
And I know, like, I don't like fantasy. No, I really would not. There's nothing about that.
What if it's a vampire cowboy?
No. I don't care what kind of cowboy it is. I don't care. Not my thing. Just not my thing. And like rom-coms, no. And comedy, no. If it's comedy, I'm gonna watch a movie. I mean, right, I don't want to read comedy. That's just me personally. And then rom-com gets corny. I don't like corny romances. I can't do it.
I will say, recently I have stopped reading the like contemporary romances because of that exactly.
That's what they're called. Yeah, contemporary romance. Not my thing. I like, dark romance and stuff, but contemporary is just not. Recently, I have read a couple mysteries and I liked them, so I'm gonna read some more. I do plan on reading more, but right now I'm in my like little fantasy era, so I'm enjoying all things fantasy right now. I can't. It's really hard to like tear me away from it unless it's like something short. Like I read As for Andrea, and that was like a shorter book. So I'm like, oh, I can take a little break, but right back into fantasy after that. So yeah.
Did I give you the Magpie Murders?
You did.
Okay.
I have it. I need to read it. Yeah, I have it.
That one I didn't mind either.
At it. I keep looking at it like, God, I need to start that. Just like every other book on my shelf. So, it'll happen in time.
Yeah.
I got all kinds of time. So what's your favorite book that you read for school?
So this one was also a tough question for me because there was plenty, but I ultimately settled on the Odyssey because I was a Greek mythology nerd from like grade 5 all the way on.
Aw, that's rad though.
And then The Outsiders and The Great Gatsby get honorable mentions just because of, the cultural significance that they have. And my mom's a huge Outsiders fan. Like, she loves Robert Frost and Nothing Gold Can Stay and all that. Stupid.
Yeah.
It's not stupid. I didn't mean that.
No.
Mom.
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry.
It's rad.
Love it. So for me, I put One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That book like stuck with me. It was definitely the most memorable of all the books I read in school for me. Movie's not bad either. Book's better as usual. But The Outsiders, and what's funny is my daughter recently read that and she freaking loved it. So that's just one of those books that are just timeless, I think.
That's what I meant with like the cultural significance, is that I think every kid at that age reads it and they're like, oh,
right,
dang.
Right.
Yeah,
so good. And then I'm not huge into Shakespeare, but I've always really liked Romeo and Juliet. I love the whole story of it, the
drama,
romance. I just loved it. And I really liked the when they made the movie with like, what's his name,
Leonardo DiCaprio and
him
Claire Danes.
I love that damn movie. And that part, oh my god, the fish tank part, stop. Oh my god, I think that's what I learned. I'm like, oh, so this is what swoon is when people say swoon. That's this right here. Exactly. That scene will forever. But I do like the story of Romeo and Juliet. I just thought that movie was such a cool take on it, how they like mixed modern and
I'm sorry.
That movie's freaking, I don't care what anyone says. I love that damn movie so much, but the book is good too. The book is really good.
Isn't your favorite trope enemies to lovers too?
Yes. Yes, it is. I love enemies to lovers. I'm a sucker. It must have come from. You're always figuring. Stop psychoanalyzing me with your fucking degree, Becky. Damn it.
I don't mean
She's
to.
like, oh, you like goalies? Oh, Romeo and Juliet? Oh, stop it. Just kidding.
I just wish I had that insight for myself, okay?
No, right? Oh my god, that's so fun. I do love enemies to lovers. Weird.
I'm writing that down in my psychologist notepad.
Yeah, you have like a Stephanie file?
Yeah.
No.
I put it away when you come over.
Smart. Oh my god, I'm dying. Okay, moving on.
Yes.
So, what is your favorite series you've read?
Obviously, it's going to be either Harry Potter or The Lord of the Rings. I've read a lot of good series recently, but there's just nothing that's going to top those for me. I don't think.
Yeah.
They're just classics, you know.
Oh yeah, classic. And you grew up with them, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they've been part of your life for a long time.
When I was in the 5th grade, this is okay. Little backstory. This is why I think I like Harry Potter so much. I thought I was Harry Potter's twin sister for like the entire year. Because at that time, I did wear glasses. I have green eyes, and we were both born in July. So I'm like, oh shit. My mom probably just got the date wrong. Like, it was probably July 31st. I am his twin
just
sister.
A couple days.
Yeah.
It's not a couple days.
No. It's like 10 days.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's funny.
So that's why, and then, yeah, obviously, like, so the way that she wrote those books is ingenious because you literally do grow up with the books. Like, the first book, you are, like, his age, or I was, at least.
Yeah.
And then, like, by the time you're on the 7th book, you're like, oh, shit. Things got dark. And you've, like, yeah, you're, like, a grown-up. It's crazy.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. I didn't read any of them growing up. But I think I was already grown by the time they came out. But they're well, yeah. That's fun to have a series that like you could do that with. Like I see its appeal, like for sure. I haven't read that many series to be honest. So yeah. At the moment, I guess Crowns of Nyaxia because I'm reading the Eversea series right now and I do like it. And I like it a lot. Which I will say the Everqueen, I'm about 65-70% into it. I'm enjoying it. It has a lot of like mixed reviews. A lot of people didn't like it, but they liked the Everking, and I'm like, well, I am enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it.
So you guys suck. No, I'm just kidding. I like it. It's yeah, I don't know. But I don't like it as much as Crowns of Nyaxia. For me, it's good. It's very good, but it's not.
It doesn't top it.
No, it doesn't. But it's good. I'm enjoying it for sure. Good, not great. No, I think I don't want to say that because I say that for things that like no, it's really
great,
really
not
good.
Amazing.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I am trying to read more books that are.
Ours are so opposite.
I know.
So for me, it's
oh my god, they are.
I'm trying to read more obscure books because I'm always reading what's like on TikTok or I'm starting to like learn how Bookstagram works now and just things like that. And I would like to, I know there has to be so many hidden gems. And now that we have like our following is small compared to most, but to us, it's good. It's a good amount.
Yeah.
And we have a lot and we interact with each other. And it would be cool to be able to like recommend these hidden gems to people, you know, because it's like you do see the same book kind of over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm like, I want to find some hidden gems. I don't mind reading the popular books. A lot. It's been probably 50-50 for the ones I like versus the ones I don't understand the hype. But yeah, I want to find a little more obscure books. Now, what about you?
I would like to read more popular books. Okay, so I think that's just because I've been reading such obscure books for so long that like nobody's gonna know what the Book of Lost Things are. So like,
yeah,
I can't have this conversation. Like, I can't like have like interaction with someone about a book if they haven't read it, and they probably won't have, you know. So like I want to be able to like have some sort of like, oh yeah, shit, I did read that book, that's it sucks, or it's good, or what did you think about this, or
right, just to have more conversation.
Yeah, because I feel like the books I read are kind of sometimes out there.
Yeah. And I want to read those ones. Yeah. But hey, we'll leave each other right out.
Yeah, we'll just like, I'll just pass them to you like, hey, read this.
Yeah. I already have like a freaking shelf full.
No, that's true.
So yeah, I'll get to them. It's just Kindle makes it so easier. And speaking of, the next subject is book forms that you read. So how do you read a book?
Mostly ebooks. Again, I think we kind of covered this in the first one. They're just easier to read in bed. The physical books are kind of more like the day books, the weekend books. I read maybe like one audiobook a month. That's just so I get the most out of my Spotify premium account. I did just re-enroll again with Harry Potter. I did just re-enroll in Audible so I can get the Harry Potter audio books. But that's just because I want to have them, like, because some of those books are really good for like sleeping. They're okay. So I know you need a fan and like no noise, but there are nights that like that's not enough for me, or like I wake up with a nightmare that I need like a voice. So that's what, but I don't want to spend like $300 on it, you know.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I like having white noise. I need white noise to like.
That's usually what I need, but on those rare occasions,
shit. Yeah, for sure. So for me, it's ebook Kindle is what I have. And it's so funny because I didn't think I would like it. I was one of those like, there's nothing like a physical book, and like I still hold.
You can't smell like, an ebook.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I do still have that, but I save a ton of money. With KU, and even buying the books on Kindle are like way cheaper than actual books, and ebooks are, the Kindle's super easy and convenient, and in bed I don't get like my stupid like a sore pinky and a sore finger trying to hold a big ass book. It's just easier. I do like what you do, how your 5-star books, like you're gonna buy your 5-star books.
Oh yeah, I like to have my trophies.
I will probably adopt that idea from you.
That's fine.
I do like that.
Kindred cats.
Idea. Yeah, kindred. Yep, kindled.
Yeah, kindled cats.
I mean, yeah, that too. But so yep, I'm a ebook fan after I didn't think I would be, but I am. So
I just read ahead. What? It was the last book you purchased, Stephanie.
So
Stephanie,
I know I said I wanted to read more obscure books, but I went to Wally World. And my daughter got a book.
And I'm looking at a book.
And I saw The Fourth Wing. I need to read it. I have to.
Yes.
I don't know when I'm going to get to it. I see so many. Oh my God, listen how stupid. I am way too old to be like, oh, that's so cool. But do you know those aesthetics where it's like a writer without blah, blah, blah. I don't remember. This is The Fourth Wing. It has that cool music.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I want to read it.
So I want to make a video like that.
I want a dragon. No, so I know I said I wanted to get more obscure books. It's funny because I'm like writing this. I'm like, fuck.
Shit.
I just bought The Fourth Wing. But yeah, I did buy it because I am intrigued. I need to read it. I need to see, as you said, what all the hubbub's about.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read it. Eventually, I'm not like, ooh, I want to read it right now. But it'll probably be within the next month or two for sure. So what about you? What's the last book you bought?
The last book I actually bought with my own monies was Paladin's Faith by Tim Kingfisher.
With your own money.
With my own monies. But my most recent KU download was Dream by the Shadows by Logan Carley. It's one of those that's on TikTok. So
okay, cool.
What's your favorite reading spot?
My bed, hands down.
Yep.
Before I go to bed, I have like a whole routine. I do my face things, and then turn on the fan. Yep. Turn the fan on medium. Well, I brush my teeth, clean my face, blah blah blah. turn my fan on the medium speed so it's not too loud, not too quiet. And then I prop my pillows up because I have a pillow that I use on my bed only for reading. When I'm done reading, I throw it on the floor because it's like
on the
really
floor.
Soft. Yeah, it's soft, but it's huge. It's nice to like sit upright against.
I'm judging your bed germs.
Eileen. Oh, yeah, you and Jeff have. I have so many antibodies. That's why I don't get sick. No, I'm just kidding. Because I do.
I have an autoimmune disorder. 3 autoimmune disorders.
Yeah, we'll see. So I don't. I throw my pillow on the floor. I don't sleep on that pillow. I just lean against it to read. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, because it's like really thick. It's a thick boy.
Thick.
So I put him on the floor after I'm done reading. I sit him right by my bed, and then I use my other pillow and my sleepy pillow, and I sleep in it. But yeah, in my bed. My bed's my favorite spot for sure. What about yours?
Yeah. So it's either the couch with the windows open and lo-fi playing, or in bed with my infrared light going and Jeff's fucking bougie ass jet stream. But I only use the heat mode. I don't like the air mode. That's why he has one and I don't.
Oh.
But he's bougie. So he has a jet stream. I don't have a jet stream. Jeff has a jet stream that I use.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it's not you.
It's not me. It's like there are toothbrushes.
Lo-fi's good reading music.
Yes.
I will say. I can't have lyrics, right? I'm listening. Yeah. I can't do that. I can't read and listen to words.
It's like when too many conversations are going on at once. I can't, I'm trying to listen to all of them, and I cannot.
No.
Yeah.
I can't either. So I have to have, I think I've said this in the past, I listen to Skyrim soundtrack.
Yes.
I love the Skyrim soundtrack, and I listen to that a lot. I'm sorry, you were talking about your toothbrushes, and I'm like, no.
No, we're not going to talk about it. It's fine. I was just going to say they're bougie. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, you guys I've stolen some of your bougie things, like the heater in the bathroom is genius.
Oh, yeah.
So, you get out of the shower and you're fucking freezing. And then I go to your house and I'm like, I have a fucking Jeff's like, oh, you could turn this on. I'm like, it's such an easy thing.
Yeah, it's literally just a heater, not like...
Never thought about it. The space heater.
Yeah, it's just a space heater.
Like a little...
Yeah.
Guess what we have in our bathroom?
A space heater.
I'm like, I'm getting one. That's even the same brand. I said I'm copying.
We do also have towel warmer. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't have that, but we had something similar. So in Germany, so how they have the what do you call them? The radiators.
Yeah.
Well, the radiators are connected to these things that you put your towels on, so they stay warm.
Okay.
It's like in every house. So you like hang your towel on these things, and the radiator connects to them, and then it warms them up. So yeah, that's also nice. I always think that when I first stayed at your house, I thought it was a trash can. I was putting trash in it.
I know. Jeff had to come out and like, hey, don't do that.
It's not trash. I'm like, oh, it looks like a trash can.
It does. It does.
Like, if I actually looked inside of it, though, it's obviously not.
Yeah,
I didn't. I was like, oh, I'm gonna blow my nose and put it in here.
Germs. Of course, Jeff was like, hey, that's where my towels go.
Sorry. There was no towels in it
when
I did that.
No.
So, okay. Anyways.
What was the last book that Book Talk convinced you to read?
Oh, well, Everking. I mean, that was like, we just, you were like, hey, we should read this. And I'm like, yes, because I've seen things on it too. So I would say that. And I am currently reading the Everqueen. My last ad to like my TBR because of Book Talk was In the Tall Trees by Angel N. Van Atta. It's supposed to be a really sad book, but it looked very interesting. So I added that to my TBR. What about you?
Also probably The Everking by LJ Andrews. But again, the KU I just downloaded again was one of those that was very much like a TikTok reference or influence. It was like, if you love Baldur's Gate, you should read this. I'm like, well, I do love Baldur's Gate.
Yep. There you go.
And on a side note, the best TikTok influence that I ever had was Slewfoot. I kept seeing that goddamn book in the back of all of the fucking TikTok videos, and I had to read it everywhere. And it was so worth it.
Yeah, it's like it is like an aesthetic book. Like you have it to where everyone can see it. Again with Brahm and his art, and I just those books you have to like. You need the physical copy. You can't like.
Yeah, I did end up
those,
getting them as physical copies later.
Yeah, because there's art in them, so they're special. But yeah, that book. I remember I started sending you videos and being like, "Look, there it is," because I kept seeing it too. So it's funny. But I haven't read it yet. But I see it. Like I go to Barnes and Noble and there it is, right next to Krampus. And I'm like, I should get it, but then I don't. So
you should get it.
I know. I need to.
It's an obscure book. Just kidding. It's not because it's on TikTok.
Well, but nobody talks about it.
They don't.
They just have it displayed.
Yeah, because it's a display book.
It is. It's very nice. Very nice. So who's your autobi author?
T. Kingfisher, 100%. Like,
yeah.
Like I am looking forward to A Sorceress Comes to Call. It doesn't come out until August, but that's probably. But if like Neil Gaiman and Brahm and all of those, like my favorite authors, came out with new books, they would probably be an auto buy. And like I'm trying to go through my backlog of them to buy, but
yeah, for sure.
Or you know what, Clive Barker, if he came out with the 4th book of Aberrat, I would be so happy.
Oh yeah,
that would be an auto buy.
Yeah. So
you
as
I get heated.
Have one? No, it's fine. I guess T. Kingfisher does come to mind.
Yeah,
because I've read several of her books, but I honestly don't like have one because I have read so many. It's like my books are always by different authors, and I'll really like something like a 4 or 5, and I'm like, I need to read more by that author, and then like that thought just goes, I don't know, ADD, I don't know what it is, but I just don't think about it anymore, and then I'll be like, ooh, the next book I read, but then when it's time to read my next book, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna read this one. It's on KU, and I like it. Like escapes my brain when it needs to be there.
Yeah.
So I think eventually, I'm sure I'll get to that point. But right now, I would say T. Kingfisher because I talk a little bit about her more later, so I'll get into it then.
What brings us to the next question is the book that has been on your TBR the longest.
So for me, it's Seed, and that's according to Goodreads. I have it. I have had it forever since not last Christmas, before last. And
shit.
It's just sitting there, and I'm like, I need to read it. So I say I'll get to it. Which does actually, Anya Alborn may become an auto-buy for me. I need to read more, but I have enjoyed her books a lot.
Yeah.
So, and I like the way she writes. I enjoy her readings, so she might become one. I just need to actually commit and pick up the damn book and read it. I'm just so obsessed with the Kindle now. I'm like, oh, that's an actual.
It might be on Kindle Unlimited.
Yeah, but I like have it, so it's like I might as well. I don't know. We'll see. So what about you? What's been on your TBR the longest?
Okay, so it's not my fault. And I was complaining about this in the last episode.
Oh, I already know. Yeah. I remember.
It is City of Darkness, the Underworld Gods #3. I have been waiting for fucking ever to actually read it.
She keeps releasing like other shit instead, and it's pissing you off.
I'm so mad. I just want to fucking read it. I think it does finally actually come out end of February, so it's probably going to be on my March.
Oh, that's soon. That's soon.
I'm so
hopefully. Yeah. But wasn't it supposed to already come out and then it like got bumped?
It was supposed to come out in September, and then it was supposed to come out in November, and then it was supposed to come out in December. So hopefully.
What is happening? She explained why.
She has like ADHD, so like she has the perfectionism thing too, where like it needs to be,
Okay, fair enough.
At least that's what I've gathered from her.
Yeah.
February 28th is when it's supposed to come out. So let's hope so, because I just at this point I just want it to be over, you know?
When did you read 1 and 2? Like, how long has it been?
Like a year and a half now. Because it was before the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're coming up on our year.
We are coming up on our year. So over a year. I know. We'll have to do like a special episode for that.
That's insane. It's been a year.
I know,
so
dude.
Cool. That's
I'm so proud of us.
Never committed to something so
except for your husband.
Well, yeah, of course, but I mean,
yeah.
like a hobby.
Yes.
I've never.
No.
I have never. It's so much fun too.
It is. It's
anyway,
a lot of fun.
So what's a book that made you cry?
Most recently, This Thing Between Us. Again, no spoilers. I cried. Okay, so I am a sensitive lady. I did cry a lot. Like, I'm going to cry. The first part of the first entire part of the book, I was just bawling. I was like,
it's sad. And his pain was written so well.
Yes, and it made me like reframe like other people's grief too, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I'm like one of those very typical people that goes through grief the way that like the family members do, right? But I can see how. Oh my god, Milo squeaked. I can see how like it could actually affect you in the other way. You know,
right?
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
So
yeah,
without getting too into it.
Next time. So mine was this Fabric of Our Souls, and I didn't like bawl like some people were like, oh my god, it tore me apart. I cried though. I shed a few tears. I was like, oh my god, it's happening, because I felt the hot. I explained this in the last episode, like when your nose gets all hot and you know it's coming.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is going to be a spinoff based off one of the characters, and I will be reading that because I really had heart for that character. I loved that character, so I'm like, and when she's been talking about it a lot lately, or posting videos about it a lot lately. So I'm like, I'm gonna read that one too. But yeah, that one did make me cry.
Yeah,
it was sad. It was sad.
I'm gonna be a mess when I read that.
Yeah. It's I don't know. You might. I don't know. Probably. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, it's. I really enjoyed it though. It has a lot of mixed reviews. Some people don't like it. I fucking thought it was really good. So we will see. So who's your favorite author? Yeah, I know. I always do that.
It's so funny. I love it. T. Kingfisher, obviously. Brom and Neil Gaiman. I think those three authors, well, the Clive Barker's in there too, but I think they have just like a way of being unique, and they do multiple genres, right? It's not just horror or just fantasy. They do a wide range of them, which is cool. Yeah. So that then you don't get like bored with it. What about you?
So I have T. Kingfisher because I haven't read one book by her that I haven't liked. Now there's some I've liked more than others, of course, but there hasn't been one where I'm like, I didn't like it. That has not happened with her books yet. So she's definitely special, and I don't again, I'm still getting back into my like little reading thing, and I haven't read like a lot of books by one particular author, so I'm still kind of searching for that.
Yeah, I get
author.
It.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, T. Kingfisher's great, and she'll always be one of them for sure. But as far as like you have three because you really appreciate their writing, and like I just haven't gotten to that point yet where I've read enough by several authors to be like favorite. But I do. I've only read I think 2 or 3 books by Anya Alborn, but I have liked her stuff so far.
Yeah,
but I need to read more. But I do like her books as well. I like the way she writes. She writes really good. So she's good at like conveying creepy. Especially in like the Bird Eater was really like, it gave me the heebie-jeebies, which that's hard to do. And then Brother wasn't that kind of book, but it was written just so for the content and what it's about, and it being written to where you feel for the kid. It's not splatterpunk, it's not just like I'm trying to gross you out. It's like this is a story, and like it's sad too in a sense, and you like really feel for the main character even though there's some horrible shit going on, and like she just wrote that book wonderfully. It's really good.
Yeah, they're very sympathetic characters for sure.
Yeah, and that's like really hard to do in that story, Brother, because when you hear what it's about and you know what it deals with, you're like, ugh, but it's not written like, ugh. It's in there for sure, because, yeah. But, it's, you just have to read it to, like, kind of understand. She did an amazing job with that book.
Yeah.
So yeah. So favorite genre?
So I think overall it'll probably be fantasy, because the subgenres that I end up having, the subgenres that I end up having fantasy elements. So for example, horror, there's got to be a little bit of paranormal shit for me to, like it, or fantasy spooks. I don't really, I was talking to your dad earlier today. He's like, I really like real life stuff. I'm like, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't real life shit. Does not I don't like based on a true story. I don't like anything that's a little too realistic, personally. And then romance. If you put an elf or vampire in that bitch, I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's also got to be this unique element to the story that will pull me in, I guess. So for example, a possessed Alexa, or an uncanny rabbit carcass, a hole in your uncle's oddity museum.
Yes, I know all those.
Hollow that is unexplainable in your house. There's got to be a trick, a twist, or an unexpected event for me to get into it.
Capture you.
Yes.
So I like fantasy and romantasy and horror a lot. I want to read more horror books. It's just I have a lot on my TBR, well, quite a bit, and none of them are on KU. And it's just when I go to read my next book, I'm always like, KU. I need to, and I can buy them on my Kindle, and they're not expensive.
No.
I don't know why, I just don't do it. And it's I have all these, I'll get to those. But I do want to read a little bit more horror, because I do find myself I get into it. I love it. I don't know why. It's weird. Probably the movies I watched when I was way too young. But, I don't know. You tell me. You know why? No, but
no, because I'm in the same boat. I don't know why I like horror. I don't get it. Jeff always asks me why are you reading it if it scares you? I'm like, because
I like that feeling,
it's
though.
Interesting. I'll explain the unique plot twist or whatever, and he'd be like, but it's it's making you uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah, dude. Not everything is for comfort. Just kidding.
I like that feeling. It's when you're on a roller coaster. It's it's I don't know. It's adrenaline. I don't know. I just like that feeling. I like that feeling. The nerves. I actually like it. I'm feeling something.
Yeah.
let me feel the feels. Okay. I want to feel it. It's cool.
Feel it.
Let me feel the feels. No. So I like horror a lot, and I even like splatterpunk. It's weird. I don't ever rate them well, and I probably should, because some of them, for what they are, they're good. It's just hard. It's I have this weird guilt with saying, "Oh, it was great," or that's
will also
3.5 stars.
Too, is that it's hard. I think our rating system is kind of difficult too, because we do read these different books, right? Whereas American Gods is a masterpiece to me, right? But if I read a romance book that I'm vibing with, I don't want to just base it based off of how I felt about American Gods, because I don't feel like that's a fair equivalent, right? But unfortunately, Goodreads only gives you so if you see that I have a 5-star on this romance book, but also on American Gods, you're like, what the fuck is this girl like? What is she about?
Yeah. But I think I've noticed that I'm giving these books 4 stars, but I am talking about them, and they keep coming up, and I keep thinking about, so they did something more than maybe I'm willing to admit. I don't know, but if I notice I keep going back to it, I probably should have rated it higher. And that's why I said I'm going to start kind of letting books simmer before. I'm not going to rate them right away. I'm let me give it a day or two to just kind of see how I feel, because I think that's because I was just rating them so quick, because I want to put it on Goodreads. It's exciting.
The Kindle asks you oh, you're done with this book. Do you want to rate it right now? Sure. Boop.
Yeah. And then you just, there it is again. But and then you just put whatever, and then, you move on. And then I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe that was a 5-star or whatever.
Right.
So, yeah. So what was your favorite read this year?
Again. It was This Thing Between Us.
Yay,
I know.
I'm so happy you liked it.
It had all the elements that I look for. So again, I'll get more into it once we're reviewing them on the other episode. But yeah,
right. It's such a good book.
Such a good book.
And it's funny because isn't there one called, I remember I told you about it, and I think there's a romance called This Thing Between Us, and you're like, I don't think it's this one. Like when you were looking it up.
I think so.
And I'm like, no.
It's not actually,
No, that's not it. That wouldn't be it. But anyway, so I'd have to say my favorite so far this year is Crow. No, I'm kidding. It's not Crow.
You're so stupid.
I really liked the eggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I liked the way he inserted into her anus.
That was lovely.
Gross.
It was so romantic. No. So mine, it's going to be the Ever King for me, because so far this year, that book has been my favorite. I did rate 4 stars to The Fabric of Our Souls as well.
Yeah.
Which was good. But
well, it's kind of hard to say right now, right? Because it's February.
Yeah, it's so early, but the Ever King, it's more for me. It's just a feeling. And Fabric of Our Souls was good and sad, but really good. But I'm on fantasy. I'm in my little fantasy world, and I love it. And I like the Ever Queen too. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So far, I'm going to say the Ever King. We'll come back to this probably during our Wrapped, and then we'll see what it was.
We can come back to it on our 1-year anniversary too. Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I am too.
I'm excited for that. I know. It's so awesome.
So what are you currently reading?
The Ever Queen?
Yeah.
About 65-70% into it. When does our February read come out? I need to look that up. Okay, so that
Feast at Night comes out on the 13th.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to. That'll probably be after the Ever Queen then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
About that time. So what about you? What are you reading right now?
I'm currently reading Hollowed Misfits by D.V. Lee, the one that she had sent us.
Yes. It's got so many cute little things. I know that one. I got to read it too. Don't tell me anything because
No. It does officially come out on February 21st. In case anybody is interested, go give it a read. It will be on Kindle Unlimited.
Oh, nice. Nice. I didn't know it was going to be on there.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I know. I'm excited. Do you have anything else for us?
I don't.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in today. If you found this discussion insightful, and you happen to be on our YouTube video, please give it a like and comment below your last 5-star reading, your last 5-star read, and why we should check it out.
And as always, we can be found on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. That's all for today. I'm your co-host, Stephanie.
And I'm Beck.
This has been Novelty with S&B, Thirsty. See you in the next chapter. Boo-da-boo-da-boo.